beautiful people. It is me, Jazzy Mac, and today I am going to talk to you about working at TikTok. This is going to be an awesome video, you guys, because I have several different roles I'm going to talk to you about. And of course, we're definitely going to get into the salary because gotta get to the bag, y'all. And of course, we're also going to do the resume demonstration where I show you guys which words to put into your resume, and I give you my actual example that I would use on my resume. Yes, those templates for the resumes are going to be down below in the description box if you're interested. Full disclosure, please do not just copy my resume word for word and submit it, because obviously that would be unethical and not truthful. So let's get into our first role and how much it pays, and let's just hop right in. So if we look at our very first role, it's going to be a help center content specialist. Now, first and foremost, I want you to ignore this location of New York. Please, let me just explain this. Don't get into looking at these locations and saying, well, Jazzy, I don't live in New York, so I can't I don't qualify. I can't apply for the role. Let me explain something to you. TikTok has global offices in LA, New York, London, Paris, Berlin, Dubai, Singapore, Jakarta, Seoul, and Tokyo. But they have people working worldwide, and I'm going to prove it to you. We just named all of those locations, but you're going to see job openings for Chicago. You're going to see job openings for Detroit, Mountain View, Nashville, Tennessee. They're hiring for everywhere. So please give the people that posted these positions some grace. Give the recruiters grace, because maybe they didn't update the location to say New York, Nashville, and all of those other locations that I just mentioned. Maybe they didn't update it to say that it's remote and that it can be anywhere. Please give the recruiters a break. They're working very hard. So now, as a content center specialist, it says here, TikTok's user operation teams ensures that they deliver their mission through the user-facing communication efforts and establish TikTok as users' favorite daily experience. Now, what you're going to do is work with the Help Center content strategist and user communication strategy manager to ensure our users receive timely, valuable communication. So that is a very fancy way of saying let's say you posted a video on TikTok. Maybe they took it down. Maybe they flagged it and you filed some sort of appeal. If you ever notice, there's a little alert that pops up in the app that says, hey, somebody's reviewing your appeal, or here are the results of it. Yeah, this sounds similar to what that type of stuff is going to be. So it says that you're going to explain product features in a clear, helpful, and approachable support messaging that aligns with TikTok's voice and content standards. You'll probably collaborate with the product team, marketing team, or design team to help create user and education content. And then you'll work with the Help Center content strategists as well as some other product design people to align on best practices and manage day-to-day escalations and troubleshooting of issues. Now, the important part, the qualifications: 2 years of writing experience, either in a support or user education content. Let me break down what that means, you guys. So for writing experience, if you've ever been a technical writer, if you have ever written for a blog, if you have ever written for copywriting, such as, helping someone write out their website, if you've ever done writing for, just instructional manual writing, if you've done writing for social media, any type of writing, even if you've done writing for advertisements, or if you've done it, at your local college, maybe you wrote out all of the event information when there were events going on and you were responsible for doing that type of writing. All of that comes under the user education, the writer experience umbrella. So please don't discount your experience. If you've got experience in help or support desk, press, design, content strategy, all of that stuff, blogging, it all goes under the same umbrella. And they're really not wanting you to have much outside of that besides being a great team player, which you already are, and maybe having some good experience with working on projects, good interpersonal skills, and obviously a solid understanding of how to use TikTok, which you already have. So for that particular role, the income for it, the salary range is going to be $56,000 to $90,000 annually. Now, what I want to point out is this is just a range. This is not a definite where if you've got a ton of experience, you can't go over these numbers. This is just a general range. We always talk about negotiating up, and I will definitely do like a video on how to negotiate up even more. But this is just a general range for that area. Now, the next role that we're going to get into is going to be the tech recruiter role. This is going to be the one that we've done, that we're going to do a resume demonstration for. And as you see, they put Seattle, but again, there's no actual office in Seattle. So what probably happened is there may have been a recruiter that didn't update the location, or the manager that sits in Seattle might have said, hey, let's start with people. Let's try to target the Seattle area for, this particular position. But again, TikTok is global. They've got a pretty remote, virtual organization going where people are sitting all over the world. So again, ignore this. And I'm giving you insider information. You are welcome. Now, for the tech recruiter, somebody asked me about doing the resume for the tech recruiter. And yes, I will do that demonstration. You're obviously going to do things like work on campus recruitment initiatives. That could be going to conferences. It could be talent mapping, interview coordination, working with sourcers and program teams to build a strong talent pool, responsible for intern conversions and full life cycle hiring, working with talent acquisition and HRBPs, and being a champion for DEI. So let's talk about what that resume would look like, what I would put in my resume, right? So here's what I would do. We heard a lot of keywords. We heard things like full life cycle recruiting. That's something that we probably want to have in our resume if we were a skilled recruiter looking for a job at TikTok. We heard them mention talent mapping. So that would probably be another word. Sourcing, interviewing, coordinating. Those would be words that I would throw into my resume as long as I actually have that experience, because we're being ethical. And so that's just your professional summary. But when it comes to the diverse placements, this is what you may be asked about in the interview. Have you placed in marketing and sales, finance and accounting, IT, tech, engineering? Those are different places that recruiters would generally be knowledgeable in. And the recruitment tools. What tools did you use? JobBite, Zoho, Greenhouse, whatever. And again, we always want to highlight knowledge and skills areas. So things like employee onboarding, negotiations, job post writing, sourcing, LinkedIn recruiting. These would all be really, really great things to highlight in your resume. And of course, going back to the hot words, maybe you led in-house recruiting for university outreach, or for DEI initiatives. Again, hot words. ATS, another hot word for recruiters. Pipeline, another hot word for recruiters. And it doesn't, hurt to throw in the name of the company that you're targeting by actually saying something like excited to work at TikTok, on their global recruiting team to expand university and campus operations. So that is just a really quick high level overview of what I would say in my resume based on my personal experience or my employment background. So yes, this template is available along with all the other templates that we've done in the other videos down in the description box. So let's get back to the next job role. And That next role is, we didn't talk about salary. So salary for a recruiter, a technical recruiter, this site is called levels.fyi. It kind of gives you like a high level overview of what people make in different roles. This is like user submitted information. So we're just going to compare it to like right here, a university recruiter with on average about 3 years. It says that that person reported being offered and accepting an offer of $103,000 for the base salary. Now that's at Uber and that's in Dallas, Texas. If you worked at Facebook, that offer could be $100K base salary. And they also seem to have gotten some stock, and they also seem to have maybe gotten a sign-on bonus. So it's a good way to kind of gauge how much, TikTok could probably, offer you, so that you could like mentally say, oh, I'm going to need a little bit more than that, because we always negotiate up. Now, our next opportunity is going to be the technical project manager. And notice it says Mountain View, Los Angeles, New York, Nashville. They're looking for people all over the US, just all over the globe. So again, I wanted to emphasize that although there is no office in Nashville, there is no office in Mountain View, that lets you know that they're hiring remotely in those locations and also in those surrounding locations. So again, we're not going to limit ourselves just because we don't live in Nashville. We're going to apply anyway, because if we interview super well, then they're going to like do everything they can to get us on the team, because that's how big tech companies work. I should know it happened to me. So with this particular role, you're going to be doing some technical project management. You're going to serve as a technology lead to multi-aspect operational practice areas. You're going to define and drive strategic and operational initiatives. You may do some operational and substantive metrics, and you're going to also do some collaboration with maybe different security groups, identity groups, things of that nature. It could vary, but what I did want to highlight in this particular qualification is it's going to say they want you to have a degree or higher. Remember, degrees are just pieces of paper in tech. If you don't have a degree, it's not a big deal. If you don't have 8 years of technology experience, it's not a big deal. These are just preferred qualifications. What is going to matter is how well you communicate. Are you an excellent communicator? Are you an excellent documenter? Can you operate independently? Do you have a track record of collaborating with other business groups? Yeah, you do. Great. Are you analytical? Are you a quick learner? Yes, these are all things that you are. So if you were responsible for coordinating different projects, if you were responsible for hiring initiatives, or you were responsible for rolling out a new deployment, some new software, those are all considered technology experience. So I don't want you to get hung up on just one type of experience. If you did, something in the finance sector, if you did something, in, let's say, biotech sector, something that is just totally opposite from what they're saying here. Experience is experience. Technology is technology. We all use it. So make sure you're not knocking yourself out of the running for things like that, right? So now for a project manager, I could go back and look here. Let's just say a project manager here in Atlanta. It looks like somebody submitted back in June. They worked for VMware and they were very new. They only had 2 years of experience and they got around a total compensation of $82,000 for Atlanta. I am thinking that is very, very low, and that the person probably did not negotiate that as well as they could. Because obviously, if we look at other, companies, even like Facebook in Atlanta, what they were paying a project manager at that time was $135,000 base salary with stock and also with bonus. So you can see what different companies are paying, and that kind of, even for Instacart, right? 162 base salary for project manager. So you can see where not negotiating can, significantly hurt you when it comes to base salary, stock, and things of that nature. So I am going to just quickly show you some of the other roles that they have. They've got a tier 2 specialist, which is going to kind of be, it's a technical role, but kind of like a support role. They're only asking for 2 years of experience in customer service, being a clear professional communicator, being able to thrive in a fast-paced environment, and having some Microsoft Word and Excel skills, right? This is like this stuff you already got. Experience in e-commerce or marketplace platforms is a plus. So this is stuff that you guys already have. Again, forget the locations. They are hiring globally. Escalation specialist is something that we have in our pipeline of opportunities today as well. I've done previous examples of resumes that included things like, trust and safety and escalations, things of that nature. So those are in stuff like the Pinterest and Cash App videos. You can find information about those types of roles. But I did want to highlight the creator manager role because I thought that I got so excited that I just stuttered. That's weird. I thought that this was such a cool freaking opportunity because as a creator manager, what you're kind of going to be responsible for doing is you're going to manage people that are in like the sports industry, right? So it says you're going to manage and grow a portfolio of North American sports creators, personalities, and athletes, and ensure the overall development and success of those partners. Would it not be super cool to like manage or to help manage like Shannon Sharp, LeBron, all these people that kind of work in that sports industry that have TikToks? It would be so cool to be able to partner with individuals like that and like help manage their accounts. So these are opportunities that are steadily being put out here. I would say go for it. Obviously, if you've got TV or media experience, great. But if you don't, if you just simply have a track record of building strong relationships, or you've got right here where it says a willingness to travel and attend meetings, these are things that you should still be capitalizing on. A lot of what people don't tell you is that when you go into these companies, they're willing to train you as long as you're like teachable and as long as you have that enthusiasm. So I hope that this is something that you all will take your time and do your resume for and submit that resume, negotiate that salary, get that top dollar. Remember, there are a ton of opportunities that they're hiring for: Chicago, Detroit, Mountain View, Nashville, Los Angeles, San Francisco, like the list, Seattle, it goes on. They're hiring nationwide and also globally. So I hope that you all get those jobs, you get those coins, and I will see you all in the next video. Let me know if you have questions, if you have any concerns, if there are certain videos that you'd like for me to do next, let me know. But until then, I will see you guys later. Bye.